So one of our fans, the great Jewy, composed a list of everything noteworthy that the SmarkBusters missed during our premium content era. So we're going to go through that to see if anything...
Ha ha! You didn't think I was here.
See if anything even slightly interesting or noteworthy happened. So, 2017, August onwards.
We didn't miss anything. We'll just preface it with that.
Apparently-
Wrestling has devolved into the... It's gotten worse than we ever could have imagined, but go ahead.
Apparently, there were two WrestleMania-worthy matches in Braun Strowman vs. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns vs. John Cena getting wasted at No Mercy 2017. That's so WWE. They think they have a good idea, so instead
Roman
of like...
Reigns versus John Cena didn't happen at WrestleMania?
No. Instead of like working to build something, they blow their wad immediately to get ratings, and it doesn't work because there's no story, so people don't care.
You're falling into the ground. You're spiraling out of control. You're hemorrhaging ratings. Those are the matches you save for WrestleMania. You put them on No Mercy?
Everybody says a big WCW blunder was not saving the Goldberg title win for a pay-per-view.
They're literally doing the same thing. Although I hate saying WWE's doing what WCW did because that's such like a...
Because WCW, even when it sucked, was better than this horse shit.
And everybody says that. But so I hate to say that, but yes, this is a very WCW-like thing. That's horrible.
Shane McMahon jumped off the Hell in the Cell for a second time against Kevin Owens. So it's like, oh, people liked it that time, let's do it again.
Shane is literally the only guy on the roster who puts his body on the line.
Yeah, and
I know in the promos they say, these guys, they put their bodies on the line.
They really don't.
Shane is the only one.
And Vince.
And Vince. That clip of him jumping onto that...
He's such a badass.
What a badass.
What he did for this business...
You know what? Screw all of you people who don't like Vince McMahon. Screw all of you.
Vince McMahon is...
I don't care if this is all his fault. He invented it.
Yeah. He can destroy his creation if he wants to.
Exactly. Just like we are.
Oh, Sami Zayn turned heel.
Oh. That's not cool.
I'm sure that drew significant numbers. The Usos versus the New Day feud stretched across 5 straight pay-per-views, ending inside a Hell in the Cell.
How long is this list?
It's pretty fucking long.
The Usos are back?
They're still doing the Black Lives Matter thing, I think.
When were they doing? I just remember the Usos getting fired.
No, they weren't fired.
No?
One of them kept getting arrested, so the other one couldn't wrestle because they're only good as a tag team.
I just remember, I remember them disappearing from TV.
Yeah, well, they came back at some
The
point.
Usos aren't black!
They just wear hoodies. They go, yo, no, us.
Black. Why are they doing Black Lives Matter?
It's not actually Black Lives Matter. That's just our gimmick name for it.
Black Lives Matter is trash. Keep going.
The War Games match is brought back for use in NXT every November. Wow, War Games.
That was like something from WCW that no one cared about.
It was probably a Dusty Rhodes adventure.
Everybody like hypes. Oh, like War Games. I remember that from years ago, but no, I grew up watching WCW in the late '90s, and I have no like vivid memories of War Games. It couldn't have been that memorable.
TLC 2017, Kurt Angle has his first WWE match back as he teamed with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus Kane, Cesaro, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and The Miz in the main event.
Waste. This guy's like a top 5 all-time great.
Can you imagine Kurt Angle having to have wacky segments with Dean Ambrose?
What a disgrace. Kurt Angle, back in the day when he left, was upset that he had to have matches with Batista and Mark Henry. Look at the tripe you brought him. No wonder they fired him.
Kurt Angle's a wrestling machine. He doesn't need this horse shit.
Kurt Angle is everything a good wrestler should be.
Jinder Mahal loses the WWE title after a 6-month reign to AJ Styles on a Smackdown in England.
Now, didn't we address... weren't we still doing videos when Jinder Mahal won?
That was kind of what... Yeah.
Like, at that point, we were just like, this is game.
Like, why is this what... Okay.
So, let's harp on Jinder Mahal for a second. Because, we took... Let's address 2 things right off the bat. One, yeah, we're kind of back, but we're never going to be back in the sense that we're uploading, like, Raw reviews within the hour of the show going off. Let's be honest, folks. The same feeling we had about wrestling towards the end, it still exists. Mm-hmm. It is so goddamn awful.
It's not even like we want it to get better. We just want it to die.
It's horrible. I physically can't watch it anymore. It's beyond boring. Like, that's the best way to describe it. I know that's a boring adjective. It's boring. There's nothing good. It's cringeworthy how terrible it is. It's like a bunch of people in a freaking parking lot pretending to do a wrestling show.
And you think a roided up Zubair with tits would be like an interesting champion, but no.
So one is, yes, we're back You don't have to worry about us leaving, but we're not going to be uploading at the frequency we were the last time around. But that brings me to my other point. I don't know why, and again, the term anti-smark, I hate it. I don't like getting involved in this nonsense, but I don't know why anti-smarks like Jinder Mahal. I don't get it.
Because he's got muscle.
No, he doesn't. He literally have pockets of fat deposits in his nipples. He has developed female breasts.
I got muscle.
Oh, he got them cut out. I don't care. He had them.
And he didn't even have the courtesy to wear a shirt.
He had them because he did... You like that? Mm-hmm. You like Jinder Mahal. What's good about him? Don't tell me that he's big.
Well, he sticks it to the smarks because they don't like him.
Fantastic. So did Nathan Jones. We've addressed Nathan Jones before. The Colossus of Baga Road, who was literally, if you touched him, milk would literally shoot out of his nipple. He had developed working mammary glands. That's like Jinder Mahal.
It's almost like a miracle of biology.
He's an Indian. It is. It's a freaking miracle of biology. He's a circus freak. He's not a champion. He's Nathan Jones. He's Matt Morgan. He's Snitsky. He's these guys with freaking milk shooting out of their boobs.
Matt Morgan didn't have gyno.
Yes, he did. Matt Morgan's another jobber.
Well, the good news is, I mean, he did drop the belt to AJ Styles on the Smackdown.
Oh, that's even better.
So you get the phenomenal one now.
Stop saying Jinder Mahal is good. He's not good. That was the straw that broke the SmarkBusters camel's back.
Well,
continue.
Survivor Series of 2017, Brock Lesnar beat AJ Styles, and Baron Corbin versus The Miz happened on a pay-per-view.
Brock Lesnar won, so I'm good with it.
Harper and Rowan formed their 3,428th post-Wyatt family tag team, this kind called the Bludgeon Brothers. They wear red gowns and carry big hammers to the ring.
So they were the Imperial Guards from Star Wars.
The Bludgeon Brothers, that's a fucking TNA name if I've ever heard one.
Bludgeon Brothers.
Dolph Ziggler wins the U.S. title at Clash of Champions in December, vacates it the next week, and takes a 30-day break before returning in the 2018 Royal Rumble match, only to be eliminated by Goldust after 3 minutes.
Dolph Ziggler is trash, has always been trash, and needs to just quit. And his woke SJW bullshit just needs to end. The reason why this guy is such a woke asshole is because he has this whole persona that he pretends he gets a lot of girls, but literally the only girls he got were Amy Schumer and a 50-year-old Tammy Snitch, whatever the hell her name is. This guy's not a player. He's a freaking pathetic loser.
And Amy Schumer got rid of him and she married an autistic. A literal autistic.
He literally bangs fugly retards and postmenopausal 50-year-old sluts. You're not a ladies' man. You suck.
Yeah, she shoved her Hall of Fame ring up her asshole on a Skype video. So in year 2018, Raw 25th anniversary show held in 2 different arenas in New York, similar to Wrestlemania 2. The Jason Jordan being Kurt Angle's Black Sun storyline comes to a screeching halt after Jordan suffers a neck injury and has to retire. We said that would end up ending his career. I guess, I think a neck injury is probably a more noble and desirable way to go than being Kurt Angle's jobber Black Sun, so good for him. Enzo Amore is fired as Cruiserweight Champion after sexual assault allegations, which, thank God, Enzo Amore and Big Cass might have been my 2 least favorite wrestlers ever. Chris Jericho leaves WWE and begins wrestling in New Japan for the next year. He transitions to AEW when they start up in May.
Bye.
2019.
Bye. Don't miss you.
I didn't even know this happened. Nakamura wins the Royal Rumble match, last by eliminating Roman Reigns.
So Nakamura main evented WrestleMania.
Plus Rey Mysterio returns. I think this might have been the WrestleMania the women main evented.
Oh!
Asuka.
That's how good you are, Nakamura.
I think so. I don't know that for sure. Asuka wins the first ever women's Royal Rumble. There's like 3 women in the company. And Ronda Rousey debuts for WWE. Okay, whatever. Generated no buzz because I didn't know this happened.
It absolutely didn't. She generated more buzz when she teamed with Triple H at or whatever WrestleMania.
That's a great point, actually.
But it's true. Nobody cared when she actually joined the roster. They were like, oh, she was serious about that?
But guess what? Daniel Bryan was cleared to wrestle again and teamed with Shane McMahon in a feud against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Now, didn't Daniel Bryan come back when we were still wrestling?
No. I came back as a GM.
When we were still wrestling. Like, we were making videos. I remember Smarksville pining for him to come back. Like, they didn't care if it killed him. They just wanted him to come back.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
So clearly his catastrophic neck injury that he did for all of you wasn't that bad.
Same thing for Edge, though. Edge came back. And he's already hurt again.
He like completely shattered his triceps.
So WrestleMania 34, AJ Styles versus Nakamura happened at WrestleMania. This is why nobody talks about this pay-per-view ever. Lesnar versus Reigns. Didn't that happen like 700 times?
They keep trying it. They keep trying to get Reigns over.
They're trying to do that Lesnar streak rub, and it's just gone. You can't. Undertaker versus John Cena. Kurt Angle.
Okay, the Undertaker versus John Cena one I actually know about because that was a match that I fully expected to happen at like every WrestleMania from like 29 on, and it never did. And when it happened, I expected it would be like a half-hour classic, and it literally was 25 seconds long. How stupid do you have to be to...
Undertaker can't move anymore.
But then don't do it! It's just a joke. You're making the Undertaker a joke.
My inner Cena hater can't allow me to hate him getting squashed in 25 seconds.
I know, but it cheapens everything.
Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey fought Triple H and Stephanie. That was probably fun. God. Rollins fought The Miz at WrestleMania. Oh, versus Finn Balor. It's a triple threat. Okay. And Braun Strowman, this is in bold. So Braun Strowman teams with a child from the crowd named Nicholas to squash Cesaro and Sheamus for the tag belts.
Is this real?
Yeah.
Did you verify that that's real and that wasn't somebody putting you on?
That's real.
So Braun Strowman loves children?
Remember when Bray Wyatt brought in that child named, like, Little Sammy, and he beat John Cena with him? With the power of the children, remember that?
Oh, God.
Bobby Lashley returns on the Raw after Mania.
Good. Okay, that's about like 20 years too late.
All I know about him is that they've done like a fucking year-long storyline where he was banging Lana and Rusev's life was getting destroyed. Because they just love fucking with Rusev.
Rusev is gone.
Yeah. He's now a Twitch streamer, I think.
I don't know what Twitch is.
It's some place where people stream video games and get paid for it. But if you say fuck, you get banned. WWE begins their relationship with Saudi Arabia, and the first show is called The Greatest Royal Rumble, where they present a fake Rumble match with 50 men, won by Braun Strowman. He won the trophy and a custom title that hasn't been seen on TV in 2 years since. That is some Tina Nation!
This is the equivalent of, what's his face, Ben Stiller getting kidnapped in Tropic Thunder and performing Simple Jack in front of the freaking village in the rice paddy. Like, that's what this is.
It's a little twig man, Oscar. Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass is a feud that happened. Big Cass is fired after he gets locked in the bathroom on a tour bus and rams the door off the hinges in a crying panic fit. That's true. Big Cass had some kind of fucking mental breakdown and he hasn't been seen any. He did like a one-off appearance for ROH.
And he had a real mental breakdown?
Yeah, he's actually insane.
Maybe he realized he's another one that shoots milk out of his tits.
Yeah, he realized what's become of him. He's a wet-haired goofball, no personality,
no muscle, just flabby fat and boobs.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Hopefully he kills himself. Braun Strowman. What is with this fucking Braun Strowman shit? Braun Strowman.
He's the monster among men. He's like the face of Smackdown.
Well, he wins Money in the Bank.
Ah.
Which they're still doing, I guess. SummerSlam. Roman Reigns wins the Universal title off Brock Lesnar in the main event. Again. Okay. Roman wins off Lesnar.
God, how many times?
2 months later, he has to vacate it due to leukemia. Dean Ambrose turns heel on Rollins later the night. Whoa.
Whoa.
See, it's like a turnaround on when Rollins betrayed Ambrose.
Ah, yes.
Seth Rollins literally did gay porn, so I don't care.
Okay, is that true?
Yeah. It's not like full on penetration, but what it was is this fucking gay erotic photographer had him wear really tight green tights and have a boner and like pose with other wrestlers wearing tight green tights and boners. It was a gay photo shoot.
This is not the same thing as Shawn Michaels doing Playgirl.
It's worse.
This is way worse.
Shawn Michaels didn't know that was a gay man. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Hell in a Cell. Roman Reigns' first Universal title defense against Braun Strowman. This is Strowman's cash-in for Money in the Bank. It ends in a no contest after Brock Lesnar interferes. They really don't care about the Money in the Bank
They just don't. It's garbage.
Hell in a Cell is now red and looks like it's made of Twizzlers. What?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's some fucking TNA shit. They literally had a red cage that you couldn't see through. Undertaker vs. Triple H for the final time ever headlines the Super Showdown pay-per-view.
Was it in Saudi Arabia? Was it in Saudi Arabia?
Well, the final time ever headlined the Super Showdown in Australia, but next month at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, Shawn Michaels comes out of retirement and reforms DX with Triple H to fight the Brothers of Destruction. Also, Shane McMahon wins the Best Wrestler in the World tournament trophy and the Ultimate Troll Job.
I love it how Saudi Arabia gets all these special shows.
It's supposed to be the final time ever in Australia, but the Saudi king is like, I want it over here.
Did this guy leave out when like Goldberg and The Undertaker literally concussed themselves?
I think that's coming up.
Okay.
WWE holds their first ever all-women's pay-per-view called Evolution.
Yeah, that's just garbage. We don't even need to address it.
Just because it's the first ever doesn't mean it's anything important. Daniel Bryan wins the WWE title on SmackDown against AJ Styles. He turns heel and begins an environmentalist gimmick.
Is that when he came out with like the cardboard belt?
And an alliance with Eric Rowan as his bodyguard. Now, I actually saw some clips from that. It was pretty fucking funny. Daniel Bryan is an obnoxious hippie. I thought that was actually pretty funny.
Wait a minute, whoa. What?
I thought Daniel Bryan, because that's his actual person, according to Kane's book, which I read, Daniel Bryan really is an obnoxious
You read Kane's book?
Yes. Daniel Bryan is an obnoxious liberal in real life. So him playing this obnoxious hippie character who you're supposed to hate was actually funny because it worked.
Alright, I'll give him credit. But the fact that he was WWE champion does not work for me.
The fact that he's on the roster doesn't work, but if you're gonna have him there, at least have him be funny.
Alright, I can buy that.
Like he wasn't portrayed as like
So WWE did something that was just normally horrible and not beyond terribly horrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Smarks' wet dream match comes true as Brock Lesnar vs. Daniel Bryan headlines Survivor Series. I'm surprised he survived the encounter.
It's fine.
WWE brings back Starrcade, but it's an untelevised house show.
Oh my!
What's the fucking point?
You know, this is the type of stuff that they do now!
I know they're burying the NWA legacy. Tully Blanchard.
Nobody associates Starrcade with NWA, you stupid smarks! It's a WCW thing. They associate it with Hogan and Sting.
So Seth Rollins wins the Men's Royal Rumble match. I hate that we have to say the Men's Royal Rumble.
No, I won't say that. It's called the Royal Rumble.
Becky Lynch wins the Women's Royal... This is 2019 now, by the way. Becky Lynch wins the Women's Royal Rumble and begins her mega push as the man.
Yeah, is this when she like punched Charlotte or something and like...
No, what happened was she was bleeding and she made some kind of cornball face into the camera with blood coming down, and then they're like, oh, well, she looks like a dude here. She looks like a fucking Doug Rambo, so let's call her the man. And because she's banging Seth Rollins, we'll call Seth Rollins the man's man, which is the gayest nickname.
They should just call her Dyke Rambo. That's a great name.
Dyke Rambo. That'd be a great gimmick. I want to see Dyke Rambo. WWE introduces the Women's Elimination Chamber match and subsequently the Women's Tag Team Championships. You don't have enough women on the roster to do this horseshit. Dean Ambrose leaves WWE after WrestleMania. His final match comes when The Shield defeat Lashley, McIntyre, and Corbin at Fastlane.
This asshole literally came out with a podcast where he's like, I'm not bitter. And then he proceeded to literally try to be CM Punk and just... Only his gripes were nowhere near as, like, gripeable as Punk's.
Incidentally,
they were pathetic. Vince, like, he made me, like, fight.
He made me say offensive things.
He made me say goofy things. Like, no, dude, that's just you. You're a goofy asshole.
CM Punk is so much fucking better than anybody on this roster. It's almost unbearable.
And it's unbearable how gay Punk is with his woke bullshit. But he is still better than everyone on the roster. You're hearing that from the SmarkBusters. How far have we gone? Where I'll say that CM Punk is better than every single name. Dear God, at least he can talk. My God.
So WrestleMania 35, the first ever women's main event. Becky Lynch beats Charlotte and Ronda Rousey in a double title match. And that ended in a horrific botch where the pin happened before it was supposed to and everyone was just confused, and that's how WrestleMania ended.
CM Punk is better than Braun Strowman. Mm-hmm. He's better than Jinder Mahal. And I hate CM Punk with a passion, and I think I blame him for ruining wrestling. Just saying.
CM Punk, for a time, was Righty's favorite wrestler. Active.
This guy, not me. Yes. But for a while, he was entertaining.
Baron Corbin defeats and retires Kurt Angle. Now, come on. There's no reason Kurt Angle's last match shouldn't have been against John Cena.
You know what?
Make it come full circle.
Screw it. It should have been against Triple H.
That too. And Triple H should have beaten him so badly.
And it would have made sense because for all of you assholes online now who know nothing about wrestling and literally didn't watch a shred of footage from the Attitude Era, you would have no idea. We would know, however, that Triple H and Kurt Angle actually had a feud during the Attitude Era involving Stephanie that never had the proper payoff, and this would have made sense if they actually would have had Kurt Angle go out at WrestleMania against Triple H, not Baron Corbin.
Well, Triple H had his own bit to do with this pay-per-view.
Oh.
He defeated and retired Batista, which actually saw.
Yeah.
It was a fun little match.
That was... You can't knock that. You can't knock it.
Kofi Kingston wins the WWE Championship by defeating Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that was...
I understand that Kofi Mania was supposed to be this feel-good story, but, like, what the fuck are we doing here, people? This is the WWE Championship.
I am the wrestling basset hound. Kofi Kingston shoves coconuts in his butthole.
I don't even think that's a basset hound. Kofi Kingston... Okay, listen. The New Day come out, they throw pancakes at people. Why is their guy the champion?
But now everybody wants freaking Big E to win the title.
Big A. Now it's Big E's time.
Now the Big E's been a
Why isn't it Xavier's time?
Yeah, well,
He's too busy cucking with Brad Maddox.
yeah. Shane McMahon versus The Miz happens. Seth Rollins squashed Brock Lesnar to win the Universal title. Now, you can't give Roman Reigns this rub, but you can give it to fucking Seth Rollins, have him squash him. Because apparently this match was only a couple minutes long. He just curb stomped him a bunch of times. Oh, here's what I was talking about before. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are a real-life couple and this is pushed to the point of nauseum on WWE TV, with Seth Rollins being referred to as the man's man. Whatever. Brock Lesnar wins Money in the Bank full of colorful jobbers after not being advertised. His music hits at the very end. He just climbs the ladder and wins.
Okay, I saw that. It was hilarious.
He turned the briefcase into like a boombox and he's like,
Yeah, that was. I'm
dancing
sorry.
with it.
Stop saying Lesnar has no charisma. That was hilarious. Literally, there was a segment where he came to the ring and they were trying to talk to him, and he was just like,
I love Brock Lesnar.
he was great. It was like when he came out in the mariachi band against Eddie Guerrero.
I love him as a person.
He's fantastic. He just like literally shoots deer and eats their brains out in the prairie.
WWE
What a
introduces
man.
the 24/7 Championship, which is a G-rated version of the Hardcore title. That's just an excuse for R-Truth to get TV time because for some reason Vince McMahon loves R-Truth.
Is he still called R-Truth?
Mhm.
Okay, I thought he changed his name again.
To what?
Like it was K-Quick R-Truth. I thought he was something else now. Maybe
I think he was just Ron Killings in TNA.
No, I don't know.
Super Showdown 2019 is back in Saudi Arabia. Undertaker versus Goldberg headlines and they nearly kill each other.
Yeah, it sounds to me like the Super Showdowns in Saudi Arabia are the only shows worth watching.
Listen, you can't... All these fucking faggoty people who can't get over Bret Hart. It's not Goldberg's fault.
Okay,
He's 78 years old. He's tried his darndest.
and it sounds to me like the Undertaker caused this. I believe he dropped Goldberg on his head first.
I think Goldberg actually did his like amped up crazy enthusiasm and just ran headfirst into something. And concussed himself.
Okay,
That's
well,
probably
Goldberg
right.
was concussed first. So.
Either way, we didn't watch this horse shit
No.
and we're never going to again, so it doesn't matter.
Can you tell we're enjoying this?
WWE hosted an impromptu new pay-per-view called Stomping Grounds in July, with a 3-week build-up for a crowd of less than 6,000 and one of the lowest pay-per-view buy rates ever. Stomping Ground. Kofi Kingston's WWE title reign rages on as he defends against Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Dolph Ziggler, and Randy Orton before dropping it to Brock Lesnar in 10 seconds on the debut of Smackdown on Fox. Smart decision.
Smart decision, and how pathetic is it that in that match you just described, Orton's the only one that remotely looks like a champion?
I don't want to fucking hear that. He's on the same level as Dolph Ziggler as far as I'm concerned. I fucking hate Randy Orton.
I agree with you.
I have
100%.
no, like, I don't look at Randy Orton the way I look at CM Punk, where I go like, well, you know, comparatively.
You know what the difference is? Orton never entertained
No,
anybody.
never!
He was never good.
I hate this fucking longing for a bygone era of the legend killer.
Well, now there's all these assholes like Orton's carrying Raw.
Orton sucks. The only thing he's carrying is several STDs. Because his boner is always raging on. SummerSlam. Goldberg returns to avenge the horrible Undertaker match and wrestles Dolph Ziggler. Watching him spear Dolph Ziggler was one of the greatest joys of my life. I saw it on YouTube. Trish
You
Stratus.
know why? Because Ziggler sold it. Just like only Ziggler can.
The best spear I ever saw in my life was Goldberg spearing Lodi. Is Lodi considered a great seller, or is Goldberg just considered an intense worker?
I hate Ziggler.
Everybody does.
I can't. What kind of a fucking moron dips his ladle into Amy Schumer? Can you imagine the smell? God!
Trish Stratus returns with a singles match where Charlotte Bray Wyatt debuts as the
Don't care.
Fiend character.
What the hell did Trish do to her face?
She got a lot of fucking. She didn't.
It's not the same person.
No.
Dear God.
I don't like Trish Stratus no more. I was always more of a Lita fan anyway. Seth Rollins beats Brock Lesnar in the main event of this pay-per-view. Okay. The Bray Wyatt horseshit with the Firefly Funhouse. That sounds like something we'd make up.
Have we gotten to the Fiend yet?
Yeah, he just debuted.
Oh, okay.
The Fiend. Where did we go?
His multiple happy personalities.
Matt Riddle, the newest hot NXT prospect, legitimately gets into it with Goldberg and Brock Lesnar backstage on numerous
No, he
occasions.
didn't!
I don't-
Stop!
I don't fucking care about Matt Riddle. Stop sending us. We need to make a whole video on Matt Riddle.
We need to make a video on how Brock Lesnar would eat this guy.
There's a prolonged summer storyline where someone tried to kill Roman Reigns after he had production boxes dropped on him. It was revealed to have been Eric Rowan.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, okay.
The Black Sheep.
Well, he's been Daniel Bryan's like butt friend throughout all of this. I mean, he's not the Black Sheep. That's Braun Strowman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Eric Rowan is
He's the
Lunchbox.
ginger sheep.
Yeah.
He's
For the second year in a row, the main event of Hell in a Cell ends in a non-finish after it's stopped by the referee because the Fiend was kicking too much ass against Seth Rollins.
Oh, no.
I mean, licking too much ass because the Fiend's fucking queer. And Seth Rollins.
And Rollins loved it.
WWE brings back the King of the Ring. Ugh. Chad Gable versus Baron Corbin in the finals. Baron Corbin wins and begins a contrived King gimmick. I fucking hate King of the Rings. Okay, everybody liked the Macho King. Was that because he won King of the Ring or just because
he won King of the Ring.
Okay, and everybody liked King Booker. Those are the only two that were good.
What about King Sheamus?
King Sheamus was the worst fucking thing ever. King Barrett did not need to happen because everybody loved bad news. King fucking... What was the other one?
Wait, did King Barrett happen after Bad News?
Yes!
Oh,
they dropped Bad News to give King Barrett. King William Regal sucked, asshole.
William Regal sucks.
What else was it? Who else? Every fucking King gimmick. Like, stop! King Booker, you're never going to duplicate that.
Did Drew McIntyre ever do it?
King Drew McIntyre? I don't know, Larry. Finn Balor flopped so badly on the main roster that he's moved back to NXT where he turns heel and makes evil faces.
And then they try to write that as, well, NXT is no longer developmental, now they're their own
Yeah,
brand.
fuck you.
No, it's not.
Because he wasn't cutting it, getting no ratings whatsoever. CM Punk returns to WWE as an analyst.
No, but he does it. He didn't return to WWE.
WWE backstage, where they are paid to give legit analysis of a fake sport. It's canceled after 7 months.
Right. He works for Fox, not WWE, and they canceled the whole thing. It's gone. It doesn't exist.
CM Punk. John Morrison returns to WWE in early January 2020 and reforms his tag team with The Miz.
Like, I would not be disappointed to see John Morrison back.
I always thought that his in-ring work was so good that it didn't matter that he was one of the worst talkers.
But you bring him back and stick him with that fucking leech. Look at what that guy has done for his life! He's got a show on the E! Network? The Miz?
There's no way that gets anyone watching it. Who the fuck cares?
Can somebody poke Vince, wake him up and say this asshole still has a job? I guarantee you Vince thought he cut this guy 10 years ago. All you gotta do is remind him that he's there and he'll have him escort it out. Just remind him. My God, how can you have a job for that long and contribute nothing?
You can say that about most everybody these days.
No, but especially The Miz.
Oh, but MVP also returned full-time during the Royal Rumble.
Don't care.
Nice, wonderful mid-carder to have on your roster, sure. Brock Lesnar declares himself #1 in the men's Royal Rumble. I actually saw this. Royal Rumbles have been very stale for a very long time. This was
saw
actually,
this?
This
You
was,
watched it?
I didn't know.
What year was
I didn't
this?
watch this live. This is 2020. I didn't watch this live, but I saw this subsequently.
That's badass.
What Brock Lesnar did in the Royal Rumble, he was so cool. Declared himself #1, and then instead of doing the typical Royal Rumble shit where it's just like 50 million people in the ring, Brock Lesnar was eliminating people one by one, so most of the Rumble was him just standing there waiting for the next person.
Fantastic. I would have watched that. You should have told me.
Brock Lesnar had a lot of... This was a great...
Stop knocking him!
This whole time we weren't watching was a great period for Brock Lesnar.
That's another thing. I'm tired of people knocking him saying he's stale.
No.
He's never stale.
He's fucking... He's just a freak.
There's not people like that.
Brock Lesnar is what you watch wrestling for.
He's a physical... He's an anomaly. I hate using that word, but he actually is.
Anyway, Lesnar beats everybody until number 16 when he gets thrown out by Drew McIntyre. Now, yeah, okay, Drew McIntyre, jobber for life, we get it.
Better than everybody
If somebody
on the
is
roster.
going to beat Brock Lesnar, he's the guy to do it.
He's a man's man.
No, I can't.
Edge returns after 9 years during the Rumble. Okay, good. I like Edge. I'm not going to complain that he's there, but damn, he's going to kill himself.
Yes.
McIntyre wins the Rumble by eliminating Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns, excuse me. Goldberg wins the Universal title after he squashes the undefeated Fiend Bray Wyatt in like a minute.
Yes.
Fuck the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Fuck him. I love that Goldberg has had so many title reigns.
It's amazing. I never would have thought this would have happened. It's fantastic.
He's been champion in the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s.
And anything
That's
he does,
4 decades.
even recent stuff, I can go watch it and still get excited for it.
Mm-hmm. Goldberg has been champion in 4 different decades. I think how many people have done it? Like Ric Flair. And, I don't fucking know.
I freaking love Goldberg.
WrestleMania 36, the first WrestleMania to be held in over 2 nights in front of no crowd.
Okay, well that's because...
Cinematic matches such as the Boneyard match, which was Undertaker's last match against AJ Styles, which I saw clips of in the Undertaker documentary. It just looked like a shitty WWE movie, but like in like a fun like schlock way. So good for Taker. The Firefly Funhouse match, which was The Fiend versus John Cena. Drew McIntyre defeated Brock Lesnar to win the title. Strowman defeated Goldberg. It was supposed to be Roman Reigns, but Reigns couldn't wrestle because he has leukemia and there was COVID, so whatever. Reigns versus Goldberg at WrestleMania would have drawn some numbers.
Yeah, I think that's a shame that they couldn't do that.
Spare versus spare! Spare versus spare!
Actually, you know what? Now I'm hearing Michael Cole saying that, and now it's not. Never mind.
Rey Mysterio's son Dominic begins to get involved in the company and major storylines.
You mean Eddie Guerrero's son?
Yeah, we all know the truth here, people. Money in the Bank happens inside the WWE headquarters. It's turned into a race to the roof of the building. Wackiness ensues. Otis, a big fat guy who loves steak, wins the men's
I
briefcase.
keep hearing about Otis, and I haven't had the time or the energy to look him up yet.
He's a human chode. He looks like he's wider than he's tall.
Is he big? Is he larger than
He's
life?
short, and he's got like an old school fat wrestler build. Like
I can
like,
live
quite,
with that.
But he's a straight up comedy gimmick. He's not serious.
God, okay, never mind.
And
I'm looking for anything, people.
Edge and Randy Orton feud throughout the year. They have a last man standing match at Wrestlemania, and then what is billed as the greatest wrestling match ever at Backlash.
I don't care. You know, that freaking chode Peter Rosenberg was selling that online. What a useless piece of garbage that guy is. But
He wakes up every day, cuts
he
himself.
literally gets on his knees and prays to whatever God he believes in and says, "Dear Lord, please just make me black. I want to be black."
He sits there and the Michael K show, which is the worst fucking show on radio. Mike Francesa will always be better than you. And he talks about fucking. I want to hear about the fucking Yankees, and he has to tell me about the latest basketball protest. Like I give a fuck.
And I know
Stop talking about sneakers and talk about the Yankees.
And I know that this guy watches our channel.
He told Don LaGreca about us.
I have a beef to pick with Fat Don, but we'll do that another time.
In Your House and the Great American Bash both make a return for NXT events. Who cares? Releases in April. There was a COVID wave of releases. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, Zack Ryder, Heath Slater,
And Kurt
EC3, who was on the fucking show, I
Kurt
guess.
Angle.
Rusev got released, Kurt Angle, Mike Chioda, Eric Rowan, and Luke Harper all gone. And fucking stupid AEW in an ultimate TNA move had fucking Mike Chioda on their show, like when fucking TNA was whoring out that they had Earl Hebner. Like anyone gives a shit about AEW is trying to go, we're not just here to fucking take all the WWE stars. Meanwhile, they're making a big deal about taking a WWE referee.
Why aren't they pushing Sylvester Terkay?
That's a different voice that he had last time. Pretty much the entire WWE UK roster is accused of sexual assault. That's good. We're very near the end.
What is WWE UK?
That's like the NXT.
Why
shit.
is that a thing?
This guy with tits who slaps people. Extreme Rules is billed as the horror show. Extreme Rules. Hawaiian Shirt Bray Wyatt returned for a title feud with Braun Strowman. They are now doing a Foley-esque Three Faces of Foley gimmick with Mr. Rogers' Firefly Funhouse, Old School Bray Wyatt, and The Fiend Bray Wyatt.
Wait, the Funhouse is separate than the Fiend?
The Funhouse is him wearing a red sweater. Also, there will be an eye for an eye match with Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins,
Okay.
and you win by taking the other opponent's
Now this
eye
I
out.
actually... Cause
That's some
lately-
Vince Russo shit. I can get behind
Lately
that.
I've been trying to get back in just so I'm a little aware of what's going on. Did you see this?
That's some Vince Russo
Literally,
stuff right there.
they got
A plastic, like the winner of the match, you have to take the other guy's eye out, and they actually did it. They had a little plastic eye. That's fucking funny. Vince Russo was watching that and going, bro, this is pretty good, bro.
that gif of The Rock chewing stuff, clapping.
Just recently on Raw Underground, hosted by Shane McMahon, debuted. It's a concept where they promote fake shoot fights.
This sounds like Brawl for All.
Yeah, basically it's Brawl for All. And they had stripper whores on the show, and they had to get them removed because the woke crowd didn't want that. So poor Shane couldn't have his like 1 minute of edginess. And another recent thing, SmackDown went TV 14. I don't know if that's permanent, but it happened. I'm not more tempted to watch it now, but there you go.
Folks, I've tried to get back into
This is everything that we missed, and I feel like it's nothing aside from some cool shit with Lesnar.
you know, with the freaking fake COVID going on, there's nothing on now. And I literally, there's times you're scrolling through and the only thing on is wrestling. I put it on. I can't watch it.
No, I haven't even put it on.
It's pathetic.
The
how
only
bad.
times I've seen wrestling is just when I hear, like, because all you assholes on Facebook, even though you claim to hate wrestling, that's all you post about. So when I see something vaguely interesting, I'll look it up on YouTube. That's it.
Oh, I got one for you that we missed. A freaking neckbeard finally went off the deep end and tried to, like,
Oh yeah, I tried to kidnap a diva.
diva.
That's funny.
Well, we can't say diva anymore.
Yeah, we can. Fuck off. So that's everything we missed. It doesn't sound like we missed anything good.
Essentially, we're right back where we were when we.
Like essentially,
I
like
got burnt out just by listening to that.
yeah, it's awful.
Nobody new they've created nothing new worth watching. I'll give Drew McIntyre credit. I don't want to kill him.
Yeah. So we'll have some videos for this week. A video that I can't believe we haven't made yet, and a video that we're going to make just to piss people off.
So fuck Cody Rhodes.